Back once again, AD on the radio.
The flitter, it's you and the senorita. Woofer blowing up the tweeter, cause it's me up in the speaker. Knocking the mama seat top down like a player. And the sound up in your ears, it is the dopest rhyme say. Running game like a cheater, I'm balling like that.
Do you, Funkhouser, do you get the impression that they're starting to kind of reach a little bit with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees?
Yeah. You know, now that you mentioned it, yeah. They haven't put some good ones in there yet, and they're stretching with some, questionable people. Why do you bring this up?
I get bands like the Beatles. I get bands like Led Zeppelin. I get bands like the Rolling Stones, or even newer bands like the Police, or bands of that nature. I understand. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with the people that made it into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this year. Great acts, each and every one of them. In fact, I can confidently say that I really love Chicago. I love Deep Purple, love me some NWA, love Steve Miller, love Cheap Trick. They're all getting into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But it's just like, when I think about the size of the contribution that they've made compared to other inductees like the Beatles, I don't know. Chicago? Saturday in the... That's them, right? That's Chicago, right? 25 or 6 to 4. That's Chicago. Yeah. There's like awesome songs, like amazing songs, legendary horn section for sure. But it's just like I have a hard time equating that with the people that I guess the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was founded on. And look, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is a completely made up thing. That much is true. You know what's terrible? You know what I just said? That much is true. Next, I was going to say, that much I can tell you, because I've been watching Donald Trump speak, and I've inherited his crutch. That much I can tell you. This much is true. I can tell you this. This is what I can tell you. It's like he has this crutch, and I noticed it like the first speech he ever gave, and it's just like I've noticed it slipping into my speech, and I'm just like, I can't start talking like Trump. That's not a good look for a broadcaster, but whatever the case may be. This much I can tell you. Chicago, Deep Purple, NWA, Steve Miller, and Cheap Trick, while they are all fine artists that have made great records that I love, I don't know. To me, it doesn't necessarily feel like it is as worthy. This was the first year Chicago and Steve Miller and Cheap Trick were even on the ballot. But they've all been eligible for years. Deep Purple and NWA had been nominated before. Lars Ulrich from Metallica loves him some Deep Purple and was angered by the fact that Deep Purple didn't make it into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and he actually said, we're working on it. And, Metallica, being who they are, owning large chunks of the Western Hemisphere, I think probably do have some power and influence when it comes to who gets nominated and who makes it into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He was very vague about it, but he's like, yeah, the fact that Deep Purple aren't in there, that's not okay. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, having heard that riff, maybe they do belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Crank that up, Funkhouser. The induction ceremony takes place at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, April 8th, and it'll air on HBO in May. Nominees who are passed over this year: The Cars, Chic. Is that Chic? The Freaks. Say Chic?
Yeah.
The Cars. Does it sound like Rock and Roll Hall of Fame stuff to you, Funkhouser?
Oh, yeah. Well, this one, of course.
This is one of my favorite songs.
Coming here.
Oh, he sings like, when you do your impersonation of Rick Ocasek, it sounds like Vladimir Putin.
And wasting all your time.
Wasting all my time.
Guitar is nice.
Didn't you say Chic?
Yeah, they were passed over. But hearing this, yeah, why not? Why the hell not?
You know the song? Come on. This is an all skate.
Oh, no. Everybody knows this. Hey, man, I was a wedding DJ for 3 very unfortunate years of my life. I'm familiar with the works of Chic. Janet Jackson, she got passed over.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. The JBs. Who are the JBs? I know everything about music. Like, I really kind of do. Look up some JB's music
How do you
for me.
spell that?
Apparently, the JB's. J and a B.
I don't have it here.
If it's not in our library, it's not.
This is Janet.
What? Oh, this is Janet? Yeah, this definitely doesn't say Rock and Roll Hall of Fame to me. And I know they've got to award people from all genres, but it's just like, I don't know.
Maybe I should play the rock one. There you go.
Oh, is this Black Cat?
Oh, yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Actually, in a very cheesy way, this does kind of kick some ass. There's plenty of cowbell in it.
Yeah,
Crank
buddy.
it, Janet!
You just want to say to this one, coming on the stage next, Mercedes.
It does sound like, it sounds like, Janet Jackson wanted to do a rock song. She was like, can we bring in the guys from Warrant to be my backing band? You know that Cherry Pie song you do? Something like that, please.
Always gone. Gone to hanging out, breaking the rules.
Yeah,
Oh, this is, you know what? This is the era of Janet Jackson where there's some suspicion that she and Michael were the same person.
Yep.
Because they really sing the same way. And they both do the same thing, like, your butt is mine. And, like, the inhale becomes part of the lyric. Chaka Khan was passed over this year.
Oh, yeah?
Chaka Khan was mad.
Chaka Khan. Chaka Khan. Chaka Khan. Chaka Khan. Chaka Khan, let me rock it, let me rock it, Chaka Khan. Let me rock it, that's all I wanna do. Chaka Khan, let me rock it, Chaka Khan. Let me rock it, let me feel for you.
I know all about that one.
I understand why that one was passed over.
Yeah.
You know who else was passed over? Like, then this is the thing. Like, not trying to take anything away from this band, and I saw them over the summer playing like the side stage at one of these festivals we were involved in. But Los Lobos were passed over this year. They were a nominee. Like Los Lobos. Yeah. Not that there's anything wrong with this band, and they were great when they played to 500 people this week, this past summer just gone by. No, and I can't take anything away from them. But they were freaking, wonderfully awesome and talented and have made a contribution. But is this Rock and Roll Hall of Fame to you, Funkhouser?
I don't know, man.
I mean, it's a cover.
More.
But this is like, exactly, this is their song, and it's a cover of Richie Valens' song.
What's some other Los Lobos song? It's called Hearts of Stone. I don't know. It's like a jam band, like Santana, Is he in there?
When you get... See, Santana's in, I think. I don't know, but, like, come on, man. If you're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, or if you're even being considered for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, if the name of your band and Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee even happens in the same sentence ever, I shouldn't put on one of your songs and go, I don't know this one. 9 Inch Nails were also passed over, as were the Smiths, the Spinners, and yes, inductees are chosen by a secret ballot of over 700 voters. One vote goes to fans who make their picks in an online poll. This year, the fans chose Chicago with 23.4% of the vote. For more music news, check out realradio.fm.
Let's start the show.
Where the left and right come together for fundamental truths. AD on the radio.
Every day you're going and working, running that rat race and that pace and that place will leave a bad taste for anyone, everyone working day after day. So buddy, I gotta say, there's gotta be a better way, yeah. And you do what they told ya, company man, bullet, a mindless little soldier. How can you live like that and maintain your composure before it's begun? Your life's already freaking over, yeah.
Yeah. Let's just keep with the Christmas music throughout. Well, when we get to the news bed, maybe we'll do the news, but I like this. Feeling holly and jolly.
You can't mix season's greetings with death and destruction.
Yeah. This is great. And it's also the perfect backdrop for me to tell you a story. Funkhouser.
Oh, you have a story, do you?
Yeah, a story of an army bell ringer, a Salvation Army bell ringer, who lifted his apron and exposed his junk the other day. You know how... keep up the Christmas music. You know how guilty you feel when you avoid the Salvation Army bell ringer outside the grocery store when you're like, okay, he's by this exit. I gave it the office, so I'm going to go by that exit. You know, do you feel that guilt, Funkhouser?
Yeah. But I try to go in my pajamas so they think I'm like broke. They don't bother me.
The thing that I did not realize about Salvation Army bell ringers, because you hear them ring the bell when you walk by them. You know how long they keep up that bell ringing?
How long?
All freaking day. Because I know this because I was part of like this food drive the other week, which was really, really cool for the San Diego Food Bank. It blew my mind, man. First and foremost, it blew my mind because I was like, this is great. We're going to help feed people. That's fantastic. And the food bank does really, really great work. But for the radio station that I work for in San Diego, when I was headed out there to do the food drive, I called the guy from the food bank. I was like, tell me a little bit about your organization before we get going. And he was like, well, we feed like 40, 50,000 people a week in San Diego. And that number might be small. I could be misremembering it. It's great. And, no. Hold on. It was a much larger number. They feed like 400,000 people. This is it. They feed around 400,000 people. But they said of those 400,000 people that they feed, about 50,000 of those are military families because there's a huge military community in San Diego. And my mind was just blown. I was like, whoa. Hold up. Hold the freaking phone, Andy. Military families don't have enough to eat? And he was like, no, they don't, because they don't make enough money to feed a family a lot of the time, especially in a pricey town like this. They set up a military. They don't pay soldiers a whole hell of a lot, especially when they're first starting out. And then they plunk them down in the middle of, I think San Diego is like the third most expensive city in America. Right now it goes New York, San Francisco, San Diego. So here is a family trying to make it on $20,000, $30,000 a year. There's family of 3, family of 4 in this crazy expensive city, and they can't afford enough nutritious food. And I was like, what the hell is going on? What is the meaning of this? And he's like, well, that's why we feed military families, because the military isn't doing it. And I was just, it's crazy to me. Absolutely crazy to me. So if you're thinking of donating to a service organization, and you want to donate to the needy, and you want to donate to military families, turns out you can do the same thing in one shot. It's something to bear in mind when you're thinking about where you might spend your charitable dollar. It saddened and disappointed me, but made me happy that they gave me a conduit to do something about it. So, those $7 bags of groceries they have at the front of the grocery store for you to buy, to donate, that's where that stuff goes. And it was really interesting getting a breakdown of that. Anyways, Salvation Army bell ringer. You know how you feel guilty when you avoid them outside the grocery store. This might help you feel better about going out of your way to dodge them. 61-year-old William Martin, bell ringer in Kingsport, Tennessee. He was stationed outside a grocery store on this past Thursday afternoon, trying to get people to give him some donations. And a dad and his 4-year-old son actually did. But after they put their donation in his kettle, he lifted up his red apron and showed his junk. Apparently, he'd already pulled it out from his pants and was just waiting for an opportunity to flash it. Fortunately, the kid did not see it, so he's not traumatized the way he could be. When the cops came, William denied doing it, but then they checked the store surveillance footage, which caught him playing with himself under his apron earlier. He was arrested and charged with indecent exposure. Oh, yeah, but back to my point about how long they ring that bell for. So we were set up. The food bank was set up outside a grocery store, and the Salvation Army guy was posted up outside the grocery store, too. It was kind of like the charitable, it was like the season of giving. It was like the Milk of Human Kindness smackdown, competition between the food bank and the Salvation Army, like who could get more donations. And look, everybody has their own thing that they like to do and charities that they feel comfortable donating to. So it didn't really matter. But one thing that I noticed, I showed up, I was like, boy, that guy's ringing the bell a lot. Wonder when he's going to stop. I was there for 3 hours at the food drive. He didn't stop the whole time. Like, just ring, 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 ring. No, it wasn't jingle bells. It was a clangy bell. And it wasn't the cheerful, chipper jingle of bells that you might hear on Santa's sleigh. No, it was like clang, 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 clang. And the whole time, 3 straight hours of that. Yeah, 3 straight hours of that. Unbelievable. Hey, Funkhouser.
What?
During the joyous freaking Yuletide season, see, it's so annoying. Stop. Just stop. Do you feel comfortable getting it on at your significant other's parents' house, or perhaps your parents' house? Don't answer. We'll get to it next. Ho, ho, ho.
Real radio.
104.1.
Like most kids from a privileged white upper-middle-class suburban background, for a significant portion of his childhood, he was pretty convinced he was down. AD on the radio.
Talking about me for a long time, but you're too scared to say what's on your mind.
All right, Funkhouser. And feel free to play along at home. Ponder this question. When it comes to the holiday season, the joyous freaking Yuletide season, when one goes over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house to enjoy yummy turkey and palpable tension between you and the relatives that you secretly despise but put up with twice a year,
Yeah.
what the hell is this?
Tell me, what are you going to ask?
The question, I guess, is...
Yeah.
I don't know why, but the moment you introduce a saxophone into music, it's immediate filth. It's Skinamax porn instantly in my head. Like, I just wonder, like, now people laugh at him, but in the 80s, when this sort of music meant it was panty dropping time, I wonder if, like, was there ever a point in his career where Kenny G was a sex symbol? Like, oh, the way you blow that sax gets me every time.
Yeah, probably.
Holy freaking God. So the question I suppose we're asking is, will you have sex while you stay at your parents' house this Christmas, or your significant other's parents' house this Christmas? Think about it, and we'll discuss it after we go over the events of today in our segment, My Witness News. In no way, shape, or form,
yeah.
they're certainly not balanced.
Oh, yeah. Can I do it over this? Ooh. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. News about Obama. Donald Trump.
No,
Ooh.
please, no. Funkhouser, that's actually creeping me the hell out. Won't be able to squeegee that one out of my mind's eye. Thanks for that.
Sorry.
I'll never be able to listen to the saxophone again. After this, I'm going home to throw out all my Wayne Shorter albums. All right.
I'll take those
Go
Wayne
on.
Shorter albums if you...
Yeah. They seem to fit right into your plan.
Gyms in New York are offering a Star Wars workout called Awaken Your Inner Force.
Yeah. All right, then. I would imagine it's a low-impact workout, as in it'll have a very low impact on your ability to get a woman into bed. So it's like the Star Wars workout, the Awaken Your Inner Force workout. I don't know. Hold on a second.
Dog downward, you do. Or something.
Squat thrusts you will accomplish. I guess, like that is sort of like Yoda was the original Yoda was the original personal trainer. Oh, you don't know this, Funkhouser.
There is no try. I saw that.
Oh yeah,
written somewhere.
There is no try. There is only do. Which is, a great lesson for all of us, and I think something that every personal trainer says to their chubby, hyperventilating clients as they're trying to convince them they're becoming a Jedi of fitness. I don't know. While we were talking about this, I pulled up a picture of George Lucas. I think I'm going to stick with jogging. Go on.
Star Wars The Force Awakens opened this weekend.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I know. New Star Wars movie. It caught me by surprise, too. But, Disney seemed to be going with this soft opening, low-key debut. Which, by the way, I bet if you look around the country, because like Star Wars The Force Awakens, wasn't there a midnight showing Thursday night? Like, I know at one of the radio stations, I was giving away tickets to a 6 a.m. Friday showing. So people were like lined up ready to go see it at 6 a.m. And I bet you, and on Friday, I don't think this is a coincidence, on Friday, all sorts of stuff was going wrong in the studio. Could I get anyone in the IT department to come in and fix it? Hell no, I couldn't. Why? They were all out watching Star Wars. IT departments across the country shut down in the name of that. Not dispelling a single stereotype. Go on.
Yeah, right. Use the Force on your own. We're in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Cranberry singer.
Yeah. It's your computer just blue screened. Why don't you try using the Force? Go on.
Cranberry singer. I can't do an Irish accent.
Hor-diddle-dee-dee.
Cranberry singer Dolores O'Riordan pled guilty to headbutting and kicking 3 police officers.
Yeah, it's crazy. The chick from the Cranberries. Like, do you have to let it linger? That one?
Do you have to pull my finger?
Like, who is a diminutive little woman.
Yeah.
If she'd done this in the 90s, in the early 90s, when the Cranberries were having their day, it would have been scandalous enough. But the fact that she's like this little strip of a woman who's probably in her 50s at this stage in the game, years later, pled guilty to headbutting and kicking 3 cops. I guess, well, maybe you can't blame her for freaking out. I think witnesses at the scene said one of the cops totally looked like a zombie. Hey. That was a lot of work for not much payoff.
I like where it went though. That was good.
Thank you very much. Zombie, hey. Go on.
Oh, excuse me.
For a while, there was like, I don't know why, but like 3 bands who shall remain nameless serviced the radio stations I work with.
I'm sorry, they did what?
They serviced that. Not that. Not that kind of service.
Tell me more about this.
You gotta stop.
Sorry.
Unclean. Oh, God. 3 of the bands serviced. These 3 bands gave us covers of that song, that zombie song, Cranberries. And
does that sound like a play?
What?
Right now?
Does it sound like a play?
Song? Is that something I can play right now? Should we play
Zombie?
it? Yeah, while you're talking about them?
Yeah, why not?
So people know who we're talking about. Anyone born after 1990?
I think this is one of those songs that has stood the test of time, though. I think everybody knows this one. It's no Teen Spirit, but, it stuck around.
3 bands covered this, huh?
3 bands covered it, sent it to us, and universally, all of them were kind of like doing their version of it, which was like a heavy version. But all of them were kind of copying her Irish accent during the verse. Here, listen to how she sings this here.
You got a little more. You can tell them the weather and the time right now if you want to.
Oh yeah. Oh, I remember
traffic up next.
When I used to play this song on the radio, I'd be like, "Come on, get it over with. Just get to the chorus," as John Lennon once said. So how she's singing here, like these guys in metal bands who covered this song would be like, "Another head hangs over." I was like, "You're from Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Shut up." That's like just be a silence. Oh, diddle diddy. Oh, leprechauns.
It's not me. It's not
in your head.
Pots of gold, leprechauns, oh, lucky charms. And their bombs. Okay, this is like the biggest waste of time.
Anyway,
Anyways, but yeah, they all copped the Irish accent. I was like, who are you trying to kid? No. The answer is no. We're not going to be playing this. And you should be ashamed of yourself. Go on, what else is going on in the world?
Keith Richards turned 112. No, Keith Richards turned 72 last week.
Really? I thought he was older.
Yeah.
I don't know. He looks older. But I don't know. I think he spent his birthday like he does every other day, rendering every single say no to drugs PSA ever made completely invalid.
This is my brain on currently drugs.
Yeah.
Nice
This
and
is
tasty.
your brain. He should make his own PSAs. He's like, this is my brain. This is my brain on drugs. Both of them exceedingly rich, successful, and happy. But the point here is my brain is not your brain. Your brain's different. Things will go badly wrong. Only if you can afford the blood transfusions will things work out as wonderfully well for me as they have for you. Now, I'm going to go snort 3/5 of Colombia's gross product off of a stripper's arse, and it'll be fantastic. I tell you, fantastic. Unclean. Go on.
A Kris Jenner fan has been placed on psychiatric hold after entering her house.
Oh, wow. I can't believe that they don't have more secure. Well, then people hop the fence to the White House these days. So, like,
Hello.
did you just play like a little snippet of the Cranberries there?
Oh, it was still going, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
Yeah. I can't believe that they
Hello,
don't
it's
have more
Dolores.
security in
Let
place.
me
But
in. Hello.
they don't.
I had a song
but this-
in the 90s. Hello, let me in.
Anyways, she's been placed on, or the fan that entered Kris Jenner's house has been placed on psychiatric hold. I would imagine they immediately knew the guy had serious mental problems when he claimed with a straight face that he was a fan of Kris Jenner. What a world we live in. As we roll into 2016, we exist in a world where Kris Jenner has fans. Ugh. Go on.
Fox announced Tyler Perry will host a live TV musical about Jesus' resurrection.
Oh, really? Tyler Perry. Do we have any more details on it?
I don't.
No?
That's it.
Yeah.
Do you?
No. I would imagine that as with all Tyler Perry productions, I think he plays his cards close to the chest when he's working on stuff, so we don't know much about the musical, except that it will take every opportunity to set the civil rights movement back about 50 years. Go on.
Also, this just in from God. Johnny Manziel says he's having fun playing quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, Drinky the Clown Johnny Manziel keeps talking about how he's having a great time being quarterback, and I think people close to that organization that I've talked to have been like, yeah, don't get used to it. Like, I mean, you are undoubtedly a gifted football player, but the fact that you are Drinky the Clown off the field and then lie about what you've been doing, then get caught on video with timestamps about where you were and what you were doing, doesn't bode well for your professional future. So Johnny Manziel is all about saying what a great time he's having being a quarterback in the NFL. But let's be real here, especially given the guy's height. There's a good chance that it might not work out. And this time next year, he could be assisting Santa Claus making toys in the North Pole, spending the offseason in a treehouse making cookies. Go on.
Democrats are accused of trying to hide Hillary Clinton by having very few debates and holding them on weekends.
That's silly. If they were really trying to hide her, the debates would be happening at Martin O'Malley campaign rallies. You gotta wonder for folks that, like, you know, what are they calling it? There's so many the kids table is what they're calling it during the holiday season. It's especially apropos. But I think they're all just on book tours at this stage in the game. Like, they're just using all this campaign finance, knowing that they don't have a snowball's chance in hell of getting elected, but knowing that they're going to be able to hawk a book afterwards. It's crazy. It's crony capitalism at its finest. It's inspiring political confidence, asking people for millions and millions of dollars in donations, and knowing you are not going to get elected. It is just not going to happen for a lot of these candidates. It's crazy. Anyways, go on. What else?
Drinking, smoking, and drug use drug use among teens fell in 2015.
Yeah. Yep. teens in this day and age are drinking, smoking, and taking drugs way less than they have in the past. But vaping is more popular than ever. So, yeah. Americans might live longer in the future, but they're also going to live D-baggier lives. Go on.
72% of Americans believe we're still in a recession.
Yeah, I was thinking about this the other day, and I think that's a really healthy thing to know, because I was talking to some friends of mine that are, they're struggling, and this time of year especially, we all know that the spirit of the season isn't a materialistic thing, but a lot of the time you're talking to friends and they're wishing that what was in their wallet matched what was in their heart a little bit more. And it's encouraging, if nothing else, to know that that's how everybody else in the country feels too. Broke. 72% of Americans think we're still in a recession. So, upside, if you get coal in your stocking this year, consider it a generous survival gift.
Every day you're going and
Real Radio. Real Radio. 104.1.
Now, more AD on the radio.
So, Funkhouser, where are you spending the holidays with Canadian Jane? She's not going back to Canada, is she?
Well, yeah, I'm sad and I'm happy. Because she just got a new job, so she can't go back as planned. So I do get to spend the holidays with the Canadian one.
And how sad that makes you sad and happy that you get to see her over the holidays?
She doesn't have to go. She can't see her family for the holidays, but I get to see her. So that's.
Canada, oh Canada, oh Canada.
It's amazing.
Oh Canada, oh Canada.
It actually matches the sad Christmas music you're playing. It's in perfect tune with it. That's incredible. What are the odds? So, are you going over to your parents' house for the holidays?
Yeah, I can spend time with Mother Funk and Father Funk. Hauser.
Will you have sex when you stay at your parents' house this Christmas?
Probably. I mean, why wouldn't I?
Because it's your parents' house?
Yeah, I probably would. I mean, they're
Oh, God.
they're pretty deaf at this point. They're not gonna hear nothing.
Oh, really?
You can blame it on the dog.
See, millions go back to the Christmas music. It's just this. Kenny G is tainted with filth now. Millions of people will stay in a house with their family members over Christmas, and that has a potential to really keep you from getting it on. Or does it? If you're Funkhouser, I guess it does not. New survey asks people about having sex while they're staying at their parents' house or with other relatives.
Should I not?
Well,
I mean,
you're in the minority. You're in the minority.
How minor?
But not that minor. It's almost 50-50, but it's still a minority. 49% of men say that they'd still get it on in that scenario. But here's the thing. Those 49% of men are going to have some convincing to do, because only 27% of women are into the idea. I don't know, man. Like, someone's house.
Hey, I used to live there once.
I think I would probably have an easier time. I wonder if do you think it's easier to go back to your old house where your parents live and do the nasty with your significant other during the holidays there? Or would you be more hesitant to go to Canadian Jane's parents' place and get busy there?
Well, that's not. Yeah, I don't know. I probably wouldn't get busy there.
Yeah, see?
That changes everything.
Yeah, well, I mean, would this be the first time you're meeting her parents, right?
Yeah, if I were to go back, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm not going with her, no. But it would. That would be a bad first impression. I think.
That would be a bad first impression. Now, if you got to the point where they decided they liked you and everything was cool, like third or fourth time, would you be like, okay, We're all good. If they catch us once, this will just be like the guy that loves their daughter, loving her. Like, do you think with the passage of time, you'd be more happy with the prospect of waking up mom and dad?
Her mom and dad are different. I wonder if I should tell you. Can I tell you? It'll be a secret between you and me, right?
Yeah, sure.
They've been her parents have been historically known to be quite loud themselves. So I think I don't know what would happen. Competition?
That wow. Most awkward Christmas ever. Can open, worms everywhere. No.
Oh, sorry. But yeah, probably would not do that at her parents' house.
The survey found that the vast majority of the men and women that are willing to do that do it to cope with holiday stress. You know, holidays are stressful, and you need kind of like a way of relaxing. And I guess, you know, when you're done screaming at each other because you've taken trains, planes, and automobiles to get where you go, you've lost your luggage, all the presents arrived late, and, you know, somebody left mom's present at home or whatever the hell it is, and you get stressed out, and you gotta find some way to ground yourself and get back into the spirit of the season. And what better way than the adult physical expression of affection? Right? So I think a lot of people that do like to do that sort of thing during the holidays are, weirdly enough, coping with Christmas stress, is what it says here. There you go. Hey, speaking of Christmas stress, if you are just joining us, I was talking earlier in the show about how it absolutely blew my mind that when I was participating in this food drive a little while ago that feeds the hungry, a large portion of the hungry that we were feeding were military families. And it blew my mind. I was like, hold on. Active duty military, and their families don't have enough food. And they're like, yeah, here's the thing. A lot of the wives have a hard time getting jobs because they're looking after a kid, and they move around because you get moved from base to base and you get stationed in different places, and they don't get a chance to build a career. And as a result, you know, look, a lot of them are stationed in places like San Diego, third most expensive city in America. It goes New York, San Francisco, San Diego, and they can't afford enough nutritious food for a family of 4 or a family of 3 on, you know, $20,000-$30,000 a year or whatever you make when you first start working in the military. So service organizations are being relied upon to feed military families. It blew my mind. It really did. I was like, hold on a second. Tax dollars pay for our military, and yet it doesn't stretch far enough, even though we spend more money than any other country on the face of the planet, on God's green earth. It's not enough to feed the families of the military. So in order for them to be fed, a third-party organization steps in and says, hey, we can't have malnourished military families. And it just, look, there's things that, it's not a political issue. It's not an issue of right or left. It's an issue of right or wrong. If you're in our military, you should feel like the people that you're leaving at home so you can go off and potentially die for our right to be American and our freedoms. At least, you know, you should feel like your wife can get 3 square meals a day. And if you have a kid, that too. But it reminded me of one company that held canned food drives for their own employees. Who is that? We'll talk about it when we get back.
Now, someone who everybody wants to punch in the face. AD on the radio.
So if you're just joining us, and boy do I feel naive being surprised by this, but I was part of a food drive the other day that was raising money for the hungry. And one thing this organization, this food bank that I was working with, was very proud of was the fact that they help feed like 40, 50,000 military families that don't have enough nutritious food. And the fact that military families can't get enough to eat sometimes, it's just, I was like, no. And they're like, yeah, didn't you know about this? I was like, no. And like I said, I feel naive, but I also feel like, what the hell, man? Seriously, what the hell? Hey, it's a great honor to fight for your country and freedom and all of us back home. But while you're gone, a third-party service organization is necessary to feed your family. And you know what? God bless the third-party service organization. God bless the milk of human kindness that generates nutritious meals for the people that are left behind by these folks that are willing to go lay down their lives so that we may enjoy our freedoms, like food. But it just, like I said, maybe it makes me sound naive, but I just couldn't believe this was happening. Crazy. So, yeah. If, like I said, you want to donate to military families and you want to donate to the hungry, turns out a lot of the time there's more overlap than it seems like there should be. And it reminded me of this, which happened, I guess, a year ago. I think they put the kibosh on it because it generated so much bad press. But at the time, it felt like a parody headline. There was a Walmart holding a holiday canned food drive for its own underpaid employees. Yeah, please donate food items here so associates can enjoy holiday dinners. It's crazy. And it was put together by the folks over at Walmart. They were like, oh, it's a positive thing. This is part of the company's culture to rally around the associates and take care of them when they face extreme hardships. And it's commendable to make an effort to help out those in need, especially during the holidays. But the need for a food drive illustrates how difficult it is for folks in a lot of positions who are working full-time gigs to get by on somewhat notoriously low pay. Walmart was for a long time and still is plagued by charges that it didn't pay its employees a real living wage. And look, yes, absolutely yes. Laissez-faire capitalism. I am into that and I appreciate the survival of the fittest. And if you have a suck-ass job, this is what you do. You bust your ass to get a better one. And I think getting that lousy job is such an important learning experience. And you should get one young because you should realize, like, oof, I do not want to end up doing this. I got to pull myself up by my own bootstraps and go make something of myself. Maybe through hard work and climbing some kind of ladder, or maybe by getting qualifications or whatever. There's a way. There is a way to better your situation, no matter who you are, no matter how bad your situation is. And if Walmart's handing you a bag of crap every month, it's your fault that you take it every month for years and years and years on end without looking for a way out. That much is definitely true. But you know what? This is where it all falls down for me. If you go back to my early 20s, I was like this broke young kid in a band. I had a major label record deal. Yet somehow I managed to deliver a pizza to the recording studio where I'd made my album a couple of months before, when there was a little snafu in accounting and I had to get by somehow. Anyways, I did anything I could do to survive around a holiday. I did whatever I could make a little extra money doing to be able to buy some gifts for the people I cared about. I was there. Clean a warehouse? Done. Road work? Done. Deliver food in my beater of a car to the studio where I recorded my album, my $1 million album? Absolutely. I didn't have any pride. I just wanted some money, and I was willing to work hard doing whatever it took to get it. Around the holidays, I remember going to this amazing farm store that they have on the East Coast. I don't know if maybe you've been there. It's called Stu Leonard's. And the food there is really, really exceptional. And a lot of it's super healthy and super organic and straight from farm to the shelf. And it's kind of like an intimidating treat to be able to shop there because, well, of my hard work near the holidays. I was able to hustle myself in there and get something that I thought was nice and something that felt like Christmas. Just talking about it makes my heart heavy because now, after years of grinding away, I almost kind of sort of vaguely have a sense of security. I've been hardworking and careful and lucky for long enough to where I know if everything fell down tomorrow, I'd be okay for a little bit, hopefully long enough to figure out what I would do next. But I know what it's like. You know what it's like too, I'm sure, to be working constantly, long hard, depressing hours. Your piece of crap car doesn't want to start, and you have to find a new way to get to your piece of crap job, and there's always more month at the end of the money instead of more money at the end of the month. There's constant aching fear in the pit of your stomach. You're wondering how you're going to make it to next month, asking your landlord if he can hold off on cashing your rent check for just a couple of days to make sure that you don't bounce a check, wondering how much having the heat on is going to cost you. Going, can I afford this heat because it's really cold outside? And if you can't afford it, and not knowing, and knowing that you're making little enough to where you could probably get some kind of assistance, but being too proud to even look into it. That's what it was like for me. And I know I'm not alone. I know a lot of us have been there. And so here I am. I'm in this amazing store, Stu Leonard's, which is like, it's a magical place if you ever go there. It's equal parts farm store and amusement park. It is a happy place. It's a place where people of privilege shop. It really is. Selection, amazing. Customer service, second to none. Aisles of smiles in your shopping experience. And like so many people are around the holidays, I'd worked so hard to save up a little extra something the way that you do, so that you can celebrate and give the people you care about something a little special, which might not be equal to what's in your heart, but it's something more than you could usually give. And just talking about it, I'm there all over again. I'm young. I'm broke. I'm exhausted. I'm intimidated by the prices in this store, but I'm happy I could make it there. I'm like carefully selecting a couple of nice things that I can stretch to with a few extra dollars my hard work has afforded me. And I don't remember what those things were, but I remember there was a real sense of pride that I had picking them out. But I'm in line behind a family who is loaded for bear. Multiple shopping carts of food and gifts and a couple of turkeys and stacks of trimmings. And I remember looking at it going, wow, that's awesome. Maybe next year, maybe the year after that, I'll be there and I'll be able to make the holidays what I want for the people that I care about the most. But I'm looking at this, I'm wondering, what can I do differently in my life to get where the family in front of me is? Their kids are happy and running around, and I'm looking at everything that they have. What luxury. What must they be doing to pay for this holiday, this bountiful feast, which literally made my eyes wide? And after they're finished ringing up everything in their multiple shopping carts, and they're looking down the barrel of an exorbitant total as they're getting ready to pay, boom, out came the food stamps. And I remember feeling like, oh my God, I was actually heartbroken. I still am. When I think about this. Not so much for myself, but for good, hardworking people I know, and some that I don't, that are barely making it through the end of the month, who have more in their heart than they have in their wallet. And I know the holidays aren't about things and materialistic, extravagant gifts, but it's still really hard. It is still really hard when you want to give the people that you love the world. Maybe your wife, maybe your husband, maybe your children. You want to give them the world, and you can barely give them a roof over their head. For people in that position, the holidays can be a real kick in the gut sometimes, as much as it is the most wonderful time of the year. They can be tough, the holidays, in that respect. And when I saw the family in front of me pay for more than I could ever hope to pay for myself with food stamps, I was just like, what the hell is going on here? The taxes from the money that I'm literally killing myself making so I can just step into this store are paying for them to live high on the hog this holiday season, and I felt cheated, and I felt like a sucker. And when I see that, I still kind of do. And I rail on those that leech off the system a lot. I have no tolerance for it. And that's why organizations like Walmart can kiss my holly jolly freaking ass, because right now I'm paying, and you are paying Walmart employees out of your pocket. Companies like Walmart. How is that possible? So yeah, a person can work full-time at Walmart and still make so little money that they qualify for benefits, food stamps, healthcare, housing, the works. Walmart's low wages come at a cost to the American public, because low-income workers still need housing and they still need healthcare. You you and me, the taxpayer, end up doling out millions in benefits to bridge the gap between what Walmart pays their employees and what it costs to live. Which is why I find myself every bit as angry with companies like that as I am with the people that are living high on the hog on welfare. You see them at the checkout line. Their kids gleefully running around with better phones than you. Their shopping carts fuller than yours. Their life free of the gnawing uncertainty that you have in the pit of your stomach because they know they're going to be getting a check next month. Walmart, companies like that, just as much of a system abusing leech as those people. Their CEO makes around $23 million a year. And by the way, Walmart have the single biggest disparity between their CEO and the average employee. CEO, $23 million. Average worker, $22,500 a year. Now, the CEO of Walmart, hear me on this, got where he is on his own. And I'm sure he's awesome at what he does and worth that exorbitant salary. But when you're working with a business model that has you, the American taxpayer, picking up the slack and supporting its employees because they can't find it in their business plan or their heart to pay them a living wage, when their employees can work full-time and still qualify for assistance, I'd say the best use of the canned food in Walmart's canned food drives that I don't know if they still do them. I think they generated so much bad press that they stopped. But if they're still doing them, I'm telling you, the best use of the canned food in the Walmart canned food drives for their impoverished employees is to take the largest, most unwieldy, most girthy cans out of that selection, hog tie them, and shove them where the sun don't shine. Stuff them like a freaking turkey, like the turkey he is. That way, this holiday season, he can feel what it's like to be effed the way he's effing the American taxpayer. Gobble, gobble, bitch. On a lighter note, I hope you're having a great holiday season. And, man, look, if you're one of those folks, that is stressed by the holidays, worried by the holidays, if you are worried that what is in your wallet is not equal to what is in your heart, hang in there. Hustle. Work hard. Show the people that you love them in every single way that you can. I'm with you, and we're going to have a better year. Thank you so much for hanging out.
I just hate you so